Hi, Noel. Welcome. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on Instagram. For those of you who are tuning in on Facebook and today, LinkedIn, Noel and I are here every Monday. We are streaming through Facebook, LinkedIn. And if I shift my head to the side, you see me looking away from our camera into Instagram. So Noel is handling every questions coming in on Instagram, and be doing everything from Facebook and LinkedIn. How are you, Noel?
I'm good. I have a question for you, Alvin. What are the odds of you also wearing blue? I asked that because I'm always in black. Like 9 out of 10 times, I'm always in black. Sometimes you might see me in a white T-shirt, and this is the only other blue T-shirt that I wear. So to come on here and to see you in black, this is my theory. I was thinking of this just now because I go into the back behind studio there while waiting for you, right? So my theory is that you see what I'm wearing and you quickly run to your cupboard and you put on the same colored shirt. Is that what you're doing?
No, well,
No?
unfortunately not. They say great mind thinks alike. Somehow our Indian part, connect every Monday.
You guys, I'm amazed. I'm blown away. But I'm doing great, Alvin. I'm having a good start to the week. I'm excited. It's August. So many things going on. But it's been good. It's been good. And to all my friends watching, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on Instagram or LinkedIn, comment below. Number one is, where are you tuning in from? Because we have an international crowd that tunes in from all over. Comment, where are you tuning in from? And answer this for me. What is that one thing that everyone should do once in their lifetime, whatever it is? Okay, what is the one thing that you feel everyone has to do once in their lifetime? So comment below. I want to know what that is. So comment where you're tuning in from, and comment what is that one thing everyone needs to do in their life. And I'm going to look for your comments. I'm going to read them out as we get started for our show. We have an awesome show lined up for all of you. And I'm going to pass it to Alvin. Alvin, you want to tell them about what we have in store for everyone?
Yeah, so today is episode 27. We have segment consists of discovery of the week, question and answer, show and tell, and of course we have gift. So you have asked the questions, we got gift for you. And those who have asked questions last week, they got some natural peanut butter delivered to them. And I'm sure Bhavani are having their peanut butter on toast right now watching this episode. So we have some response to your call to action, Noel. We have Kylie here from tuning in from Subang, and she said one thing we should try is contemporary dance with Kylie. So Kylie is a contemporary dance teacher, and she's inviting people to try her dance class. That's something I haven't tried yet.
What? Okay, to be honest, I haven't tried contemporary dance, but hey, that's why I want to know what is that one thing that you believe everyone should try. I'm seeing some comments come in here on Instagram as well. Allison says that hang on, where was it? I saw it just now. It was quite ridiculous. Everyone has to eat worms for protein. At least once in their lifetime. I don't believe I've done it before. So Allison says that. Allison's tuning in from KL. Penny is tuning in from Penang, and she says that everyone should try bungee jumping at least once in their lifetime. I haven't done that as well. I seem to have lost Alvin on Instagram, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll pop right back in. Keep your comments coming, my friends, and you can also comment your questions. This is our weekly Q&A. We're actually here to answer questions, but we got an interesting lineup, show a few things that we want to talk about, a few topics that we want to discuss. So keep those questions coming so that at tonight, we have a 1 hour show, but let me also tell you that at 10 o'clock, we actually kind of branch out and officially end the show, but we stay back on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, you want to hit there at 10 o'clock because we kind of have like a little, what should I call it, an after party? Where we talk about things that we wouldn't usually talk about in this official hour. We turn off the recordings and we talk, and it gets pretty deep sometimes. And last week we had an awesome little after party session where Lawrence shared and touched about self-care, which was really, really profound. It's like almost like we saved the best for last. So stay tuned for that. That happens at the end. I'm going to pass the time back to Alvin to take us through the rest of today's show.
So I noticed some of Instagram is still commenting what is one thing that they want to do.
Yes.
Keep them coming. We're going to bring them throughout the live show. So I'm going to lead everyone and officially welcome you all to episode 27 of our series. And we invite you to post your question. If you're tuning in on LinkedIn and Facebook, all you have to do is comment your questions in the comment section and I'll be able to pin them up. If you're on Instagram, you know what to do for Noel. With the little question mark, post it there and Noel will pin your question up. So we are here to be of your service. Post as many questions as you want and we'll try our best to answer them. If Noel and I can't or we don't know the answer, we will try our best to point you to a solution or someone or somewhere to guide you through. So our first segment today consists of Discovery of the Week. This is something that Noel and I discovered over the past 7 days. So I'm going to pass this to Noel first. Noel, what is your Discovery of the Week?
Yes, my discovery of this week is something that's very handy. It was sent to us by one of our clients. Her name is Judy. So thank you, Judy, for sending this over. It's a box of, see, me and my food, right? As always, no one's going to share food always. It's a box of conveniently packaged nuts. That means if you feel like eating your portion of pistachios, you take it out, and this is one portion that you're just going to take it away from the box, go sit in front of the TV if you want to have your nuts there, open the packet and eat it, and you are done. It's about 100 calories worth of nuts, and it takes care of the problem of opening a giant bag of nuts, and then you eat and eat and eat, and next thing you know, you finish the whole bag, right? How often has that happened to us? So I like the fact that that nuts are available in convenient packages like this. You may say that, oh no, look at all, someone's going to say this, all that plastic, should buy in bulk. That's true. You're probably going to get a better deal if you buy in bulk, but this is a handy tool for some of us who may need to portion control because we just can't stop. And just today, I do food journals with a lot of my clients. And just today, I was looking at how one of my clients always tells me that she eats a portion of nuts every day. And I've never really understood and known exactly. She kind of always evades and doesn't really tell me how many nuts she eats. And today she took a photo and she showed it to me. I counted like 35 pieces of almonds. And that's a lot. That's a lot. I believe a portion of almonds is probably like around 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of almonds. That's about it. So to have like 35 pieces of almonds every time you say, I'm just having some nuts, can lead to an excessive calorie intake if fat loss happens to be a goal. So I just wanted to say that it's nice that nuts come packaged like this, because for some people who can't stop eating, it's quite handy, and it's going to be very tedious to go and take another packet and open it just to overeat. So that's my discovery of the week. Let me give a little shout out to this company. What are they? Terra DC. I believe they are Malaysian. They're just repacking it somewhere in Shah Alam, Selangor. But I love the packaging. There's no added sugar, nothing added to the nuts. It's just as natural as it can be, and it was given to me as a gift. And yeah, so
How do you spell that, Noel?
Terra DC, TERRADISI. Interesting spelling, but
yeah. So I'm going to put the link on the comment section for those of you can check that out.
Sure.
TerraDC.com.
Yeah.
And you're so true, Noel. One thing about nut is that what is a small portion can be a lot, especially when we say that, I just eat a little bit of nuts. When we actually do look into the portion, we'll be amazed by the calories of that one portion. And what Noel said is true, because 910 almond is about 100 calories. And if your client is eating 35, that's about 300 calories.
Yeah, just from nuts. It's so easy to overeat. I don't blame you all if you tend to overeat nuts. So it's useful that it comes packaged like that.
All right.
Okay. Tell us about your discovery of the week.
My discovery of this week is something that I saw on Instagram, and it is a quote. It says, "Movements is a medicine for creating change in a person's physical, emotional, and mental state." And it resonates with me a lot because I feel lately especially if you're in Malaysia, we are locked down. In fact, in the initial state, we weren't even allowed to go out for walks, or we need to be within 10 kilo radius and within our taman. Some of our taman don't even have park. So movements are restricted. And then right now it's open up, we got more air to breathe. And it's so true because movements, I believe I've shared this, creates energy. So every time when we feel low, demotivated, lost, lazy, we choose not to move. That is the easy part. But in fact, if we were to move, it would change the energy within us. So this word or this phrase resonate with me because it invites me to move more this week, which is movement is a medicine for creating change in a person physical. Of course, we're going to burn more calories. Emotion is going to evoke different emotion in us, in me. And lastly, mental state. It is a challenging time, or at least I share for me, it is it can be a challenging week for me, or it is. And I find that walking kind of take me into a different state of mind, or my shift a little bit on my mindset. So I just like to share that. And for those of you who perhaps can relate, just walk, just move. Yeah. So that is my discovery.
The thing about moving, Elvin, is that sometimes you don't feel like doing it, right? Like you feel like my mood is so off, you don't feel like doing it. But when you do it, you're always glad that you did it. I don't know anyone who has done a workout or gone for a walk and come back and then you're like, yeah, I regretted it. What a waste of time. I don't know anyone who's actually said that. So it's Alvin is absolutely right. Movement is medicine. Changes the way you feel, changes your state, it changes your emotion. Could be a workout, it could be a walk, as long as you move. That's a great share, Alvin.
Yes, and we have here Sharon commenting that walking my dog with listening to Jay-Z is very therapeutic.
I think Jay-Z is the name of a dog, but I think she also means she's listening to Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, her dog Jay-Z. There we go. Okay, my dog Jay-Z. Great. All awesome. Right. My friends on Instagram and my friends on Facebook and LinkedIn, comment your questions below because today we are doing our live Q&A. It's episode 27. The purpose of this show is to discuss topics, is to answer questions that you probably kind of afraid to ask your trainer face-to-face. Something that you always thought, oh, this is a stupid question. We want you to ask those questions because you just never know who those questions is going to help. Some of y'all have sent us questions throughout the week. Thank you for doing that. We've jotted down those questions and we have them prepared to answer as well. And some of y'all are going to be able to comment your questions like right now so we can answer them live. Maybe as part of our discussion, you may have a follow-up question to something that we discussed. Just comment, click the little question mark so that we can answer your questions for you, okay? So passing the time back to Elvin because I believe we had a couple of questions come in sent to us earlier this week and Elvin has them ready.
Yeah, so our first question is addressed to you, Noel. I'm going to read it out to everyone. Should I leave my current gym and start my own fitness program? Should I leave my current gym and start my own fitness program?
Okay, so let's try and understand the scenario. This person is probably a trainer or someone who is passionate about working out. I'm assuming that you are working for a gym, you're working somewhere, and you're wondering whether it's time to do your own thing, okay? I did my own thing too when I was younger. So let me just give you some tips based on experience. At the end of the day, what you do is entirely up to you, but let me just give you some experience, okay? The first thing I believe that people tend to overlook, if you're a trainer, you're just starting, you're excited, you love fitness. That's the thing about fitness. I feel trainers are very, very passionate about what they do because movement creates emotion. Movement changes your energy. So imagine working in a career where you're moving all the time. You are impacting other people. You have clients. You're helping them improve their health. It's very, very special being a trainer. And the thought would cross your mind, if you're currently attached to a gym or any studio, the thought would have crossed your mind that, hey, maybe I should just go out and do my own thing, right? And I just want to give you a heads up that when you do go out and do your own thing, let's say whether it's you starting your own gym or starting with a base of your own clients, I think the first thing is to, I think you need some backup money, because if you're currently getting a proper salary, and now you're going on your own, I think you need a little bit of cash in hand, just so that if things don't work out well in the initial months, that you can survive those few months. Okay. Also, don't believe all those people who tell you that you leave lah, I will follow you, I will be your client, I will train with you. No, when you leave, they won't come. All those people who said, I'm going to come, I'm going to support you, I'm going to do this, you'll be lucky. You may have one, two people who actually come. They will come, they won't pay, or they will hutang, pay next time, all these things. Okay, so don't leave just because someone comes and tells you that, hey, you do your own thing, I'm going to support you, because no, you need to figure it out on your own, and you can't rely on other people like that. That's the next thing. Okay. Also know that when you start off on your own, running a gym or starting your own program, it's not just about your passion in helping people work out that's going to get you through. You need to actually know a lot about sales and marketing, or at least have a grasp of what it is. Because if you can't sell a single program, and selling is nothing to do with fitness, right? You may look great and people may be attracted to you because of that, but if you can't sell, if you don't have systems in place, if you don't know how to follow up, you don't know how to close a deal, you don't know the right questions to ask, and sadly, a lot of, I don't know, very few fitness certifications even teach you on this. So make sure you have some basic understanding of sales and marketing, so you can put yourself out there. Otherwise, you're going to get some investor to give you 300,000 ringgit. You go open the gym and you open the doors and you hope someone's going to come, and nobody comes. Right? That's just, don't want to be in that situation. Other than that, what would I want to say? I think if you are also, if you're like super young, you're in your 20s, you have, the only person you're responsible for is you. You can, right? If no income for a few months, that's okay. You're living under your parents' roof, food's taken care of, your bills are taken care of, and you're pretty low risk, then I'd say, you know what, just go for it, right? But if you have a family, if you have rent, if you have all these things that you have to pay for, just be a little careful. Just be a little careful. Don't just jump and then you regret. Because I know so many people who have started gyms and just watched their dreams go away. They start a gym and then they feel that I was passionate about training, but I don't even get to train because I'm doing sales, I'm looking at numbers, I'm doing bookkeeping, and it burns you out, right? So running a gym and training someone is two completely different things. Just giving you a heads up. If you want to talk more about it, I'll be happy to chat with you. It's not something that is easy to do alone. But hey, like I did it. I'm not discouraging you. I did it when I was younger, and the risk paid off. I'm happy with where I am today. But it's a risk, right? So, and if you want to take that jump and you want to take that risk, you want to talk to someone, because when I did it, I didn't really have anyone to talk to. I just quit my job and I just did it. And there was no real Facebook ads and none of that back that time. I got really lucky. But I'd be happy to talk anyone through this. I hope my answers helped you. Or I think it applies for a lot of businesses as well, and not just trainers. You want to add anything to that, Alvin? Alvin's also an entrepreneur running his own thing. You want to add a couple of things?
Oh, I love that, Noel. I'm just going to come a little bit more on the business aspect. I guess the first thing would be look for a mentor or someone who you can get advice from. Spend some time, sit down with them over a cup of tea, or even for right now would be online, and get their input. I believe when you talk to more people, you get an insight of how the market is like and things that you need to do. Because when I branch out and start off my own studios, I actually have a lot of conversation with clients and friends and family to get their opinion before making a decision. And besides that, in terms of the business part, market research is really important. Because as a progression, assuming you are a personal trainer, would be to open your own PT studio, or if you're a group fitness instructor, would open a group class studio or boutique studio. You need to do some sort of market research in terms of areas. And in terms of marketing, it boils down to the 4 Ps: the price, the product, the place, the promotion, and some would say 5P, which would be people. So when you are very confident with your marketing plan, which consists of these 4 or 5 Ps, and you seek advice, fine-tune it over the month or year, then go ahead, because that 5P marketing plan of yours is the future of your business. So that actually helps me in everything that I do, the marketing plan. Love these questions. Very rare we get a fitness business questions coming in. Do we have any questions on Instagram, Noel?
Let me check. I don't think so. There was last I checked, they were still talking about the worms.
So for those of you who are
yeah.
tuning in, I invite you to post your questions on Facebook, LinkedIn in the comment section. And if you're on Instagram, the little question mark so that Noel able to pin your question up for everyone to see.
Great.
We have a question here on Facebook, and I'm going to take this first.
Yeah.
So we have here from Sumita, and she asks, what are some kids workout or program we can do during PE lessons, and how to start cultivating healthy habits for kids? They are so lazy. So she asked two questions. Number one is, what kids workout that I believe Sumita is a PE teacher that she can incorporate in a training? And number two, how to start cultivating healthy habits for kids. I'm going to start with the first one, and I'll pass to you, Noel. Okay. In terms of kids workout and program, I find in my personal training sessions with kids or young teenagers is the key element is fun. So in sort of movements, we all know what is a movement. We do basic fundamental movements patterns like a push, which is a knee push-ups, a pull, it could be a back roll, a squat, a plank, and or three-dimensional movements, some rotation, twisting. Similar, kids, teenagers need those sorts of movements. So as a PE teacher, or in my case, as a personal trainer, how I can make movements fun for them to remember and want to do during the sessions and want to continue to do in their daily life. So perhaps in terms of fun, a squat is a squat, or I could add in neurogenesis, which is brain exercise. So for example, when they are squatting up and down, instead of counting, I could perhaps ask them to say, as you squatting, tell me a color. So they're going to squat up and say pink. They're going to squat up and say blue. Or I can do a math questions. You're going to ask, what is 4 times 4? And then they squat up, they're going to say 16. So it plays around. You add movements and a little bit of twist to those sort of movements. It's going to get them laughing. Some of them will answer wrongly. So they say, what day is today? Today is Friday. And her friends, no, today is Monday. All those sort of things. You're going to have so much more of an experience in your PE class. So if you're a personal trainer, this is some tips and hacks that you can apply to create a memorable personal training experience.
Great. Alvin's absolutely right. I think the key word there is fun. Kids are not motivated the same way like adults are. Even adults are not motivated to work out. What more kids, right? So the keyword is fun and games, and it's really just about play, right? If kids can realize that PE session is playtime, then it's fun. I want to play. But if you ask me to do physical exercise, maybe not, right? I hated PE when I was in school because it means I have to change and I have to do something that I don't like. But if it was back then, if my school PE teacher said that, hey, it's time to play games and stuff, or play catching or running around, hey, that's fun, right? Google, like Alvin gave you some good ideas there. Go and Google things like icebreakers for kids, things like that. You're not going to don't Google workouts for kids, but Google like icebreakers and games and party games, because those are movement based as well. And you're going to find some really fun stuff that you can incorporate into your class there. If I can tell you a secret, even if you're working with adults, you do the same thing. You Google ice-breaking games for kids. And it works with adults also because, hey, we want to have fun when we work out as well. And it's creating that experience. And the second part of your question was how to start cultivating healthy habits for kids. I really believe that these healthy habits begins at home. If you're the teacher, you can play an example. Kids are always watching. They're looking for a role model. And it goes back to their parents, actually. Their parents are someone who eats healthy, prioritizes exercise, prioritizes movement, goes out for walks, playtime, eats healthy generally, right? Then your kids, those things will rub off with their children. So these healthy habits start at home, and kids are watching their parents. Their parents are just sitting in front of TV the whole time, arguing all the time, eating fast food all the time. What do you think? What kind of habits you think the kids are going to pick up, right? Can't say one thing and then expect the kids to do a different thing. So that's something that begins at home. Fitness begins at home. Healthy habits begins at home with parents, especially moms, especially I believe children. Moms have a huge role to play. Unless the kids are closer to the dad, then it would be their fathers. I have clients who the children show up in the live stream classes with them. What an awesome example they're setting for their kids. The kids are joining in. The kids will roll out the exercise mat for them. One moment you think it's funny, but wow, what a great example they are setting for their kids. I had another client who her daughter, is a really young girl, like in primary school at least. I'm so well versed with all our daily muscle, healthy eating habits. And she tells the mom, "Mommy, you can't eat this." And like, "Mommy, you got to save this for the weekend." It's like, oh wow, how awesome is that, right? So but it's we laugh and joke about it, but it's just really that's where the healthy habits begin. Yeah, I hope that helps. Kids are lazy because what they see around them, they're just copying that. I don't think that naturally lazy. They're not born that way. Everything can change. I was a lazy fat kid when I was in school. Now I'm not so lazy anymore. Things can change. Things can change.
Now you are the inspiration to all heroes in Daily Muscles, Noel. We'll put it at that. I'd just like to add on to Sumita. I think you are a fantastic PE teacher for asking the questions and going or doing more beyond than what you're supposed to do. And I love what Noel said, it begins at home with the parents. So Sumita, perhaps I would suggest you to look up at Precision Nutrition. We're going to put it there. And they come up with very easy and interesting infographic that you can perhaps grab them, share it with your students, and perhaps to their parents also. Okay, Precision Nutrition, check out in the Facebook comment section. Thank you so much, Sumita, for your questions. Do you have any questions on Instagram? If not, we're going to move to our next segment.
Actually, no.
Let's
My
take
Instagram
one.
friends are very quiet today. So to my friends on Instagram, got a question? Comment it below. We'll be happy to discuss any topic that you want to as well. I'll pass it back to you, Alvin.
We are halfway through our episode 27, and I introduce you to segment Show and Tell. This is something that Noel and I show you so that you can see, and we tell you a little bit, a little story about it. So I'm going to have this one first, Noel, because I know that for the past few weeks, like, Alvin, why you always go first?
Yeah, you always
so my
push me
show,
first.
I got this one, Noel. So my show and tell is my palms. It's the calluses in my palms. Okay, so there's a little story behind it. Is calluses in my palms is a reminder to me of hard work. So there are periods of time, especially when it comes to training. And if I were to train hard, it will callus my palms, callus my hands, and it tells me that I'm putting myself in a situation that it's not comfortable. And that's where growth is. So I remember throughout my journey, even as a personal trainer, and even in my physical training, where my palms are smoother, and that's a sign of me slacking off. And it hits me or reminds me to, hey, Alvin, you got to pick it up and you got to go through some suffering. You got to do the hard work. And it will cause calluses, and that's where you grow. You improve physically, you improve mentally. And over the years, I developed that mindset that sometimes when I see calluses, it's like, okay, I know I'm putting in the work. Of course, when I look back at my journal, I can see that I'm progressing. And one thing also about calluses is that when the first time we do something, or perhaps lifting a dumbbell or a barbell, you will develop calluses. But if you do it over the next few weeks, few times, you realize that your hands get better, it grows over, it develops a rougher, thicker, and that's just how I see life is. In the beginning, everything we do or I do is challenging because I'm not good at it, just learning, just starting. But the more I do, the more consistent and persistence that I am, I find that I get better. So calluses reminds me of growth happens outside your comfort zone. So that is my show and tell.
Great. Awesome. What's that, Alvin? Can you show us, give us a close up, like put your hand like really close to the camera. First one, oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see that. You see how the discoloration is there. Yeah, great. Go. Wow. And the thing about calluses also, if you stop training for a while, it kind of smoothens out, and then you start training, and then it comes back. So I have it as well, but I never thought of looking at the callus and thinking about this is a reminder of how much work we're putting in. So that's a brilliant idea there. Great, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. If anyone wants to ask anything about Alvin and anything about other parts of his body, please comment.
We got to rephrase that.
ask away. Just hit the little question mark on Instagram, and it's a show and tell. He's going to show you something, and he's going to tell you about it. My show and tell today does not involve any parts of my body. It's actually an app, and I want to tell you about a new app that I've been using for a couple of months. I've discovered it sometime last year, but I've been using it a bit more this time. It's called, if you're looking at the Facebook version of this chat, you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, I can show it to you. I'll just post it up on my IG stories later. It's called Avatar Nutrition. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of us like to track our meals, right? You don't have to track food every time that you eat it, but it's a learning experience. And some clients want to track calories and track macros. And often the only app we seem to hear about and know about is MyFitnessPal. It's super popular. Everyone knows about MyFitnessPal. But I want to tell you about another app that I've discovered, which I find it's a lot more useful and intuitive for me, because it's a very visual tool and it shows you very nicely in color-coded sections on how far are you away from hitting your protein goal, how far are you away from hitting your carbohydrates and your fat. And my favorite thing about the app is that it actually adjusts. It's not artificial intelligence. It's got all the formulas built into it, but it actually adjusts based on your weekly check-in. So if, let's say, fat loss is your goal, when you do your check-in, it's going to ask you a series of questions and ask you whether you followed, were you able to stick to the routine, were you hitting your targets, and it's going to look at your progress, which you're going to key in your weight, your body fat percentage, and it will then decide whether it's going to keep you on that same calories and macros, or if it's going to make adjustments for you automatically without any thinking on your side. So, and it takes photos. You can take photos. You can do side-by-side comparisons to see how you have progressed. You can plan for days where you're going to eat something not planned, like if you have a date night or something like that, and you're going to eat a little out of plan, you can plan for higher calorie days and adjust it on the fly, and it kind of compensates for the next day, just so that it makes sure that in that week, you are still sticking to your weekly quota. So I find that very useful. And the only reason I bring this up is because we all only know about MyFitnessPal and we're stuck on that. This is another option. MyFitnessPal also has a free version and a paid version. This has a paid version only, but there's a 2-week free trial. So you can try it out. If you like it, then you can pay for it and you can cancel anytime. I believe it's like $9, which is like around 40 ringgit a month, but it's well worth the money spent because it's such an awesome way to track and just to see visually how you're progressing. So that was my show and tell, to share about this new app, which is an alternative to MyFitnessPal. In case you're sick and tired of using that, this is something new and exciting. I get fascinated easily with apps and gadgets and technology and these things. So this app intrigues me. I find it a lot more easier to use than MyFitnessPal, and I really like it. And I like tracking my food with it. I've had clients go on it as well. But at the end of the day, what matters is as long as you track it. If you're trying to hit a certain goal, as long as you're tracking it, you're getting there. but it was so there's an alternative to MyFitnessPal. That's so Elvin has pasted the link there on the Facebook version of this. To everyone else, maybe I'll just type it out on my phone. But that is my my show and tell for today. I hope you found that useful. And as always, keep the questions coming, because this is a Q&A, and we have until 10 o'clock to answer your questions.
Yes, I love that you share that, because we get a lot of questions. How do I know whether I'm eating in a calorie deficit? Should I maintain in a calorie maintenance? And applications like MyFitnessPal or what Noel shared, it's really helpful because it gives you an understanding of where you're currently at. And I believe that what you monitor, what you track, can lead you to make adjustments to see progress. But sometimes when we just go through our day wondering, are we eating in a calorie deficit? Am I eating more or less? So track it for a period of times, then you can take actions with it. Just like nutrition, same goes with training. Okay, we are back to our segment of questions and answer. And we have one question coming in here on Facebook. The question is, why I can gain 1 kilo in a single day? I'm going to take this first, Noel, and I pass it to you, okay? Why can I gain 1 kilo in a single day? The main reason I can think of would be, I'm going to list down a few factors that can lead to a rapid weight gain in one day. One of it would be you probably add more food than usual. So you have a large dinner the night before. Next day morning, when you wake up, you're going to see an increase in your weight. It could be from 1 to 2 kilos. It varies to individual. And if you eat a little bit more on the salty food, it's going to lead to weight gain, because salt is water retention. If you weigh yourself early in the morning and you haven't gone to the bathroom yet, you are going to weigh a little bit heavier. Yeah, you notice that if you do a before and after, right after bathroom, you're going to be lesser, few hundred grams. If you are female, it could be the time of the month. So water retention is there. You are going to weigh heavier. And one thing I can think of is perhaps weighing scale. If you step on the one at home, it's going to show a figure. If you use a different weighing scale, probably the one at your gym or your friend's house, it's going to show a different figure, because every weighing scales can be different. I do want to add on that when you gain 1 kilo, it's not fat. Majority of it is water weight. So weight consists of three things: water, fat, and muscles. And to gain fat, you need to be in a calorie surplus of 7,700 calories for 1 kilo of fat. So I doubt you add 7,700 calories for dinner. So that's very unlikely. So rest assured, it's water weight as you go through your day, as you continue your workout and back to your normal, regular eating pattern. You notice that your weight will adjust accordingly. Weight gain doesn't mean fat gain.
Absolutely. If I could add one thing to that, is that people generally in one day, the average person consumes about 3 to 4 pounds of food, which is about 1 point something to 2 kg worth weight wise or volume of food. So if you in the morning, if you eat one whole day, you weigh yourself at night. How much I like to do this: weigh yourself in the morning, weigh yourself before you go to sleep, and then you get so upset that you gain 1 kg. It's all the food that you ate, because what the average person eats 3 to 4 pounds of food per day, which is about 1 point something to 2 kgs of food per day. So don't be upset or get worked up over the small fluctuations. They are just fluctuations of your weight. What matters most is the trend. Over a week, how's your weight? Over a month, how's your weight trending? Over 3 months, how's the weight trending? And even then, you sometimes can take averages, and that's your true weight that really counts. Okay. Right, I lost you on Instagram, Alvin, but I'm sure you'll pop right back in.
Yes, coming back in.
Lauren says that the Facebook feed died, but I don't think so. I'm seeing it work okay.
Likewise on my end.
Okay.
We're going to continue. Is there any questions
Yeah.
here on Instagram for us, Noel?
Actually, no, I don't see any questions yet, but I'm sure they may come up. But I see a lot of hearts. Everyone's posting those little hearts, which is nice. We don't always get those hearts. So thank you for those hearts. There we go. Whenever I say that, I see more flying up. Thank you for that. Keep the questions coming. We had some awesome questions today. And it's always some of you have been sending questions throughout the week. But if there's anything at all you want to talk about, any topic that you want to discuss, let us know. I'll be happy to answer them for you. While I wait for Alvin to pop up. Do you see me, Alvin?
I do. I'm loading into it. Instagram Live for those of you who are tuning in on Facebook and LinkedIn. If I shift my head to the other side, that's where Noel is in charge of Instagram. So we are doing multi-streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on the side is on Instagram. I'm going to request to join. So we invite you to post your questions through the comment section below, and I'll pin it up, and Noel will handle on Instagram.
Great. Okay.
So I'd just like to highlight your call to action, Noel. Your call to action is what is one thing we all should do. I noticed that on Facebook, we have some comments coming in earlier. I just want to highlight that Noel, Lawrence says self-care this Sunday, special event. So I'm going to post a link to Lawrence's event on Facebook comment. And that is something that we all should do once in our life, is to join one of Lawrence's events. So I'm going to put that in the Facebook link.
And this Sunday is what again? Is it International Day of Relaxation? Was that it, Alvin?
I'm not so sure.
International Day of Relaxation. I believe it's this Sunday, 15 August. It's a National Day of Relaxation. So it's probably an American thing, but hey, we can do it anywhere in this world. Why not? National Relaxation Day. Wow. Well, what would you do on Sunday? I think for a lot of people, Sunday is already like the official relaxation day. Not gonna work, you want to take time out. So this is like absolutely like this is the day you want to set it aside. But yes, I think it's great that in this season where everyone needs to focus more on self-care and focus on ourselves, it's a nice coincidence that Sunday is also International Relaxation Day.
Yes.
Great. I see you on Instagram.
Sundays for me, because I do have slightly more time to myself aside from training, is where I do a little bit more intense training. So I usually spend about 2-3 hours with my workouts and do something that is longer distance. So it could be a run, it will be a longer run, it could be like a 20 kilometers, because on Sundays is where I have more time. So it kind of like picking up what I left off throughout the week. And I also share this with my clients, like sometimes during our weekdays where we are so caught up with work and we hardly move a lot. So our step counts can be lesser than what our daily average is. So weekends is a great time for us to increase our step count. Perhaps we go for a 10-kilometer fast walk or running, and you notice that 10 kilometers would easily bring up your step count to about 12,000. And that would increase your total weekly average and will bring everything up. So you find that you're struggling to get your steps on a daily basis, it's really good to use your weekend where you have slightly more time aside from work to increase your step count, or perhaps to plan your meals, to catch back up on your workouts, to catch back up on sleep, to help make sure that you are still on track with your fitness goal.
Got it. And I like how that's a great idea to catch up, to use your Sunday, to use your weekend to get in more steps. Especially now during this whole lockdown situation and work from home. A lot of people don't realize that we are being very sedentary. even if you worked out, right? So here's the thing. Even if you are joining a virtual live stream class, you're working out at home for a whole 1 hour, you had a challenging workout, but if the rest of the day, all you're doing is sitting down, whether it's watching TV or just in front of a computer and you're working, you know what? That's being sedentary. So yes, you had your workout, but look at the remaining, 15, 16 hours of the day, you're not actually moving much. So think about that. Yeah. So the workout alone is actually not enough. That's why you got to think of other ways to just stand, to walk around more, to step out of the house if you're able to go upstairs and to take your dog for a walk, catch up on the weekends, like what Alvin suggested, to get more steps in on the day when you're free, because you just may not realize it, because we've been in this situation for so long, especially to my friends, all of you all from Malaysia, who are still in this lockdown situation, and still many of us working from home. We are all still very sedentary, even if you're working out an hour a day. So think about the remaining hours of the day and what you can do, because being sedentary is a no-no. That's when you are at higher risk for all the lifestyle related diseases that can hit you. Great. Okay, awesome. We have a question on Instagram.
What is it, Noah?
We'll go right into it. It comes from Alexandra. Alexandra's asking, what gives you the drive? I'm going to tell you that Alvin's the best person to answer this. What gives you the drive to train consistently, and how do you help motivate clients to do the same? I say Alvin's the best person to help answer this because he's very driven, he's very determined, he sets a goal, he's going to do it. I, on the other hand, a bit 50-50 one, okay? So Alvin can answer this first, and I can add on if I want to do it. Yeah.
And I believe the most important thing would be having a very, very clear goal. And you want a goal that pulls you, not so much on pushing you. So when you can define a really clear goal that pulls you, chances are you're going to stick to it is much higher. So for example, one thing that leads me to train almost every day and be consistent with my training program is so that I can be a role model to my clients. Because when I train, when I maintain that, the people around me can see that. So that indirectly also answers your second question, where clients and people around can see, oh, Alvin is doing it. If Alvin can do it, I also can do it. So we are like the role model to people, friends, families around us. Another thing would help is also set a training goal that challenge you. So for me, it could be a 12 hours record. It could be a very challenging race. And that pushes me to want to train towards that. So in your case, it could be a 5-kilometer marathon, a half marathon. It could be a Spartan race. It could be hiking up a tall mountain, Mount KK, that requires you to train to improve on your fitness level. So when you have a challenging goal, it would pull you towards your training session. So that's really important. I find my most consistent, my most successful training journey is when I have a very strong goal. And I notice that after I achieve those goals, I tend to slow down a little bit, and that's where things get a bit slacking. So I realize it's really important to have a solid training goal ahead of you to keep you aligned in what you should be doing.
Great. That's great. If I were to add to that, I would say that sometimes you can benefit from involving someone else into the equation. You can have an accountability partner. You can share your goals with a coach. There's also this, I can't remember who said this, but you can also make a goal to be extreme, as in like, and for example, you say that you want to train, you want to work out, you want to train 3 times per week. You tell people about it. Tell social media. Tell your family. Tell your colleagues. And you can set a consequence if you don't do it, right? And you can set a consequence such as like, I will donate 500 ringgit to the political party that I do not support, something like that, right? Something like you really don't like this person, but you will donate 500 bucks to that person's cause if you do not work out 3 times per week, and you make that goal known, and then that gives you that push, right? So this is a different way of staying motivated. It's almost like self-disciplining yourself to do it. But what I'm really trying to say is that to share your goal with someone else who's going to support you. Don't share it with someone who's going to laugh at you and make fun of it. And that don't talk your fitness stuff with that person. But that can help. What Elvin said is very helpful as well. And I believe in sharing your goals and finding people that you can do it with. Then it doesn't become just like as if it's just you doing it alone. It's there are others involved in your journey. So I hope that helps. Alexandra, that's a great question. Alvin, I hope I don't lose you again. You are spinning on Instagram. I don't know if it's me, but you're okay on Facebook.
So I'm going to log in through Instagram again.
Or did you get
so for those of
already?
you, yeah, so for those of you who are still tuning in on Facebook and LinkedIn, I invite you to post one question. I believe we have time for one more question before we move to our little after party on Instagram. And if you have asked the questions on Facebook and LinkedIn, please PM us in the end of this. We will have a little token of appreciation of gifts for you.
What are you giving? Are you giving me peanut butter?
It won't be peanut butter. It will be one of our courses, and I believe Noel is sharing on your daily muscle classes.
Yes, that's right. So keep the questions coming because we are giving you free stuff. There we go. Getting Alvin in again. There is a question here already from Penny. Gonna wait for Alvin to appear. There we go. Okay, cool. You're in. You're in again. Okay, awesome. So the question from Penny is there a possibility that a person can be born with ankle pronation? Penny, I do not 100% know for sure. I believe that yes, people can be born with feet that tend to overpronate or underpronate. People can be born with flat feet, which can affect how your foot placement is as well. But that is about all I can tell you based on what I know. Do you have any thing to add to that, Elvin?
I would just like to add that yes, Noel is right. People can be born with it, and usually it's a genetic. So if you look at their family history and their parents or their siblings or their grandparents have similar structure, it could be ankle, it could be hips, it could be a scoliosis. So chances are yes, they could be born with it. So what I believe Penny is also a personal trainer. So what we as a trainer can do is to try to address the issues surrounding it. We are not there to fix their bones or twists or make them, what we can do is if they experience any tensions or weakness in those areas, we can, of course, search about it, seek professional physiotherapy about it, and then strengthen or stretch tight and weak muscles. So in terms of ankle pronation, what we can focus, Penny, is feet strength. So we can use a trigger ball to roll on the feet. We can do foot exercise. We can do toe exercise, toe raise. I think few episodes ahead, I share about toe spacer. So one common symptom someone with ankle pronation is their 5 toes tends to be really tight. So having a toe spacer coming in to create space allowed them to feel more intrusive muscles in the bottom of their feet, get them to engage, activate those muscles, and those are really effective steps as a personal trainer can do for your clients or for your friends and family. So I hope that answers your question, Penny. If you like more in-depth explanation, do reach out to Noel and I, and we'll be happy to guide you more.
Yes, great, awesome. So we are nearing our end. Let me just check. Is there any other questions? No, that's it. She does ask, does corrective exercise help? That's what I'm doing. Yes, absolutely. Corrective exercise can help. Like Alvin said, can't fix it, but there's things that we can do to manage it and to improve the condition. Great. Over to you, Alvin, as we wrap up our show officially.
So thank you all so much for your questions on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on Instagram. We thank you for spending your Monday night with us for episode 27. Noel and I had a conversation. What should we do after episode 30? And we realized that we are probably going to continue with different content.
Yes.
So if
we
you
have some
have
exciting
any
changes coming up. We can't tell you everything that we discussed today, but I'm excited. The show's going to evolve. Still going to be here. We're still going to be both of us. We're still going to wear same color and show up. But we've got some exciting changes in the works.
So thank you all so much. Remember to check out the Facebook version of today's live, which is going to stay on Facebook on our profile. So kindly follow Noel and myself for upcoming notification whenever we go live on Facebook or anytime we post a video. So if you have asked a question on Facebook and on Instagram, we invite you to DM us and claim your gift. Noel is giving daily muscle classes. Alvin's giving you access to some courses. Just reach out to us. With that being said, thank you all so much. We appreciate you really much. We are going to hop on to Instagram for our little after party. So on Facebook and on LinkedIn, Instagram at Daily Muscles or Alvinetto. That's where our after party is going to be. Any last words, Noel?
No, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spending your Monday night with us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.